Welcome to EPG Pathshala. In this module, today we will discuss about the challenges in water management. So the learning objective. Water resources at a glance. What is water management? Importance and need of water conservation. What are the main challenges in water resource management, and solution and strategy. So now we will discuss about the challenges. There are a lot of challenges related to water management, like as water and energy, water and climate, water and gender, water and pricing, water and transboundary conflicts, social conflicts, or water governance. So we will discuss one by one today in this module. Water resource management, water challenges, transboundary conflicts, water in agriculture like is food, water in energy sector, water and climate change, environmental pollution, hazard related to water, pressure of industrialization and urbanization, water pricing, non-revenue water, water governance. Now the solution and strategies. Ecosystem development, integrated water, resource management, water smart agriculture, proper pricing for water services, water food energy nexus. Water resource at a glance. There are three main sources of water: total global water, fresh water, then surface water, and other fresh water. So in total global water, other saline water constitute 0.9% or oceans constitute 96.5%. In fresh water, groundwater constitute 30.1%, while glacier and ice caps occupy 68.7%. Lakes have 20.9% and groundwater ice and permafrost are 69%. So these are the water resources at a single view. Challenges in sustainable water management. Water and gender, water and agriculture, water and energy, pressure and industrialization and urbanization, water pricing, water and climate, transboundary water conflicts, environmental pollution, water hazard, water governance disconnect between state and central government, and non-revenue water index, that is also known as NRW. Now we will discuss one by one. First, water and gender. Gender differences is most significant among water related challenges worldwide, or the crisis of scarcity, deteriorating water quality, and linkage between the water and food security, as well as need for improved governance. Local knowledge, social and gender dimensions and their implications are often neglected while making policies. Women are primarily responsible for managing domestic water supply and promoting home and community-based sanitation activities. They are often overlooked in the planning and implementation of infrastructure projects. Men traditionally have a greater role in decision making. The different group of men and women in society use resource differentially, and the integration of gender sensitive approach to development can have positive impact on effectiveness and sustainability that leads to new solution to many problems. Water and agriculture. Water is the key to food security. Crop and livestock need water to grow. Agriculture accounts for 85% of India's water consumption, which provides sustenance and livelihood support to more than 58% of population. According to Food and Agriculture Organizations, the world population is predicted to grow 8.3 billion in 2030 and 9.1 billion in 2050. By 2030, food demand is predicted to increase by 60%. With increased economic growth and individual wealth, the diets are shifting from predominantly starch-based to meat and dairy, which require more water. For example, producing 1 kg rice require about 3500 liter water, and 1 kg beef some 1530 liter, and a cup of coffee about 140 liters. This dietary shift in greatest to impact on water consumption over the past 30 years and is likely to continue. The agriculture produce travel through many hands from hand to fork via the farmers, transports, storekeepers, food processors, shopkeepers and consumers. Food can be wasted at every step along the value chain, which means that the water used to produce it is wasted. As much as 1.3 billion tons of food wasted annually, 250 kilometers cube of water is being lost per year due to food waste and worldwide. The chief grain producing state in India, that is Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal and Haryana, home to major water basins, has already crossed their surface irrigation potential and have categorized as water stressed. Water and energy. Water and energy are closely interlinked and interdependent. Energy generation and transmission require utilization of water resources, particularly of hydroelectric, nuclear and thermal energy resources. Recent interest in biofuel also create an incremental demand on water resources. In the World Water Development Report 2012 predict that even a nominal increase in biofuel demand of road transport by 2030 as predicted by International Energy Agency could push up the water demand by as much as 20% of the water used for agriculture worldwide. Biofuel production is linked to increases in water pollution through increases use of fertilizer and agriculture chemicals. Growing bioenergy crops under irrigated agriculture can increase overall water withdrawal and jeopardize food security. About 8% of global energy generation is used for pumping, treating and transporting water to various consumers. Water, energy and food are inextricably linked and impose a great challenge, but these are addresses in isolation within sectoral boundaries. Fragmented sectorial responsibility, lack of coordination and inconsistent between laws and regulatory framework may lead to mismanaged incentives. Water is an input for producing agriculture goods in the field and along the entire agro supply chain. Energy is required to produce and distribute water and food. Converting surface irrigation into high efficiency pressurized irrigation may save water but may also result in higher energy use. Water and climate. Water is the primary medium through which climate change influences or Earth's ecosystem and thus the livelihood and well-being of societies. The global warming may affect the hydrological cycle, which could result in further intensification of the temporal and spatial variation in precipitation, snowmelt and water availability. Climate change affects groundwater due to changes in precipitation and evaporation transpiration. At 2.5 degrees Celsius warming, melting glaciers and the loss of snow cover over the Himalayas are expected to threaten the stability as well as the reliability of northern India in primarily glacier fed rivers or particularly the Indus and the Brahmaputra. Alteration in the flows of Indus, Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers could significantly impact irrigation, affecting the amount of food that can be produced in their basins as well as the livelihood of millions of people. The frequency and intensity of less flood will increase with melting glaciers and less water will flow during the drier seasons. A rising temperature due to climate change will drastically affect crops that will require more water to withstand heat. Water resource availability impacts and the various issues related to this. Impact of climate change on hydrological regimes that lead to change in water quantity, water quality and water demand that further leads to water resources availability impact, and the impacts are mainly of two types: navigation, wetland and ecosystem, flood and power generation, change in policy for water scrutiny, national and international issues. Next one, changes in water policy, change in allocation for domestic, industrial and agriculture uses, changes in food production and change in society. Transboundary water conflicts. Indispensability of water and its unequal distribution has often led to interstate or international disputes. About 40% of the world population lives in river and lakes basin shared by two or more countries. The existing 276 transboundary lakes and river basin cover nearly one half of the Earth's land surface and account for 60% of global freshwater flow. Worldwide, about 2 billion people depend upon groundwater, which include approximately 300 transboundary aquifer systems. Issues related to sharing of river water have been largely affecting our farmers and also shaking our governments. The water management hampered by the lack of adequate and redundant sharing of hydrological data. According to United Nations, water dispute result from opposing interest of water users, public and private, a conflict between country, state and group over an access to water resources. Water conflicts are driven by growing demand for water, constrained by power asymmetries between the stakeholder and is subject to complex political dynamics which must be taken into consideration in any water sharing negotiation. There is a strong preference for bilateral rather than multilateral arrangement at both the interstate level and transboundary levels. Zero-sum attitude, lack of integrative thinking among all the concerned parties toward water sharing, supply side solution dominated by technical perspectives from the civil engineer, economics and international laws. The broad spectrum of water dispute make them difficult to address. Local and international law, commercial interest, environmental concerns and human rights question make water disputes complicated to solve. Combined with the sheer number of potential parties, a single dispute can leave a large list of demands to be met by the court and lawmakers. Some water disputes. Water conflicts in Middle East. Three rivers basin, namely the Jordan, the Tigris and the Nile, are the shared water sources for Middle East countries, and Ethiopia controls the head water of 80% of Nile's flow and plans to increase in Sudan, who is trying to divert more water. This would badly affect Egypt, which is a desert except for a thin strip of irrigated cropland along the river Nile and its delta. Likewise, there is a fierce battle for water among Jordan, Syria, Israel for the Jordan River water share. Probably the next war in the Middle East would be fought over water and not the oil. The Indus Water Treaty. In 1960, the Indus Water Treaty was established wide which Indus, the Jhelum and Chenab were allocated to Pakistan and the Satluj, the Ravi and the Beas were allocated to India. Being the riparian state, India has preemptive right to construct barrages across all these rivers in Indian territory. The Kaveri water dispute. Out of India's 18 major rivers, 17 are shared between different states. In all these cases, there are intense conflicts over these resources which hardly seems to resolve. Kaveri is an interstate basin having its origin at Karnataka and flowing through Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry before outfalling in Bay of Bengal. The sharing of water of Kaveri river has been the source of a serious conflicts between the two states of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The genesis of the conflict rests in two agreements in 1892 and 1924 between the erstwhile Madras Presidency and Kingdom of Mysore. In this regard, Government of India on 2nd June 1990 had constituted the Kaveri Water Dispute Tribunal to adjudicate the water dispute regarding interstate river Kaveri and the river valley thereof among the state of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and Pondicherry. The Satluj-Yamuna link canal dispute. The issue of sharing the Ravi Beas waters and Satluj-Yamuna link issues between the Punjab and Haryana. Now, non-revenue water. Water leaking from the water supply system is a vast problem in many cities across the world and come from the inadequate maintenance of system combined with the few or no automatic measuring system. It is unfortunately very common to find the leakage of 40 to 70% of the water produced and pumped into end users. It is not only the water which is lost but also the energy used to produce and distribute the water. In India, it is estimated that between 40 and 50% of the supplied water is lost due to leakage in pipes and connection. Because of this, a lot of water ends up being wasted, while at the same time many Indians still do not have access to water. Or if the share of water wasted was brought down to 15%, million of people could have their share of water without a need for more water to be produced. Water governance, disconnect between state and central government. Water governance is fragmented and as a result leads to inconsistent water policy between the central and state government. This fragmentation makes the task of implementing a holistic policy framework difficult, and in India, according to Constitution, each of the 28 states of Union is responsible for dealing with their own water issues. However, the federal government has the constitutional mandate to resolve issues that arise out of use of interstate rivers. This complexity of governance in water sector and all levels from the central government down to field level officials who deals with farmer and industry have to recognize the water challenges and the need of coordinated action for proper implementation of water policies in India. Environmental pollution. Environmental pollution is a byproduct of economic development and goes unabated in many water bodies as a result of indiscriminate dumping of domestic agriculture and industrial waste. The water bodies are polluted mainly through point source and known point source. The point source of pollution are simple to control and prevent, but known point source are great challenge for environment. The chemical used in agriculture sector move along the drainage from the root zone to the underlying water tables or groundwater. This further leads to pollution of surface water as well as the groundwater fall into streams. Another major source of pollution is in water bodies found in varying concentration in emergent pollutant. These are synthetic or naturally occurring chemicals or any microorganisms that is not commonly monitored in the environment but has the potential to enter the environment and cause adverse ecological and human health effect. The main categories of emerging pollutant are pharmaceutical, personal care products, pesticides, herbicides, surfactant and surfactant metabolite, flame retardant, industrial additives, chemicals and plasticizers and gasoline additives. Emerging pollutants are rarely controlled or monitored. Slow accumulation of pollutant over the years in many rivers has made them aesthetically unpleasant and biologically and chemically toxins. Restoration of such rivers of environmentally acceptable level is costly. Next, water hazard. Water-related hazard account for 90% of all natural hazard. Their frequency and intensity is generally rising. The variation in land use and climate change have altered the food frequency statistics. According to United Nations Global Assessment Report, since 1900, more than 11 million people have died as a consequence of drought and more than 2 billion have affected by drought, more than any other physical hazard. Water-related hazard from a subset of natural hazard, the most significant ones include the flood, mudslides, storm and related ocean storm surge, heat waves, cold spells, drought and waterborne disease. Urbanization, river channelization and other human activity modify the storage capacity of catchment and impact groundwater recharge, result in increased occurrence of water-related disasters. The frequencies of flood and drought are likely to change with increasing temperature in coming decade. Solution and strategies. First one, ecosystem. Ecosystem are increasingly seen as solution to water problem. This is a welcome and positive trend as it also reflects improvement in dialogues and a step toward the better integrated water resources management and therefore more sustainable development. Ecosystem include forest, wetland and grassland components lie at the heart of global water cycle. All freshwater ultimately depend on the continued healthy functioning of ecosystem, and is recognizing the water cycle as a biophysical process is essential to achieving sustainable water management. Integrated water resource management. The World Water Council defined the IWRM as a philosophy that holds that water must be viewed from a holistic perspective, both in its natural state and in balancing competing demand on it, agriculture, industrial, and environmental. Management of water resources and services need to reflect the interaction between these different demands, and so must to be coordinated within the across sectors. Water smart agriculture. The world is now looking toward water smart production by recognizing the link between water and other resources and socio-economic of poor harvest management. Automation, computer controlled decision support system on demand irrigation through creation of level pools in canals using real-time soil moisture data to decide irrigations, doses, etc. are important means of improving the efficiency. In water scarce and highly productive areas, these needs to be implemented on a pilot basis, and subsidies would encourage this initially. More efficient techniques such as drip irrigation, low pressure sprinklers are currently being used to increase the water productivity. Water, food, energy nexus. To achieve water, energy, and food security simultaneously, decision makers of each single sector need to consider broad influence and cross sectorial impacts. A nexus approach to sectorial management through enhanced dialogues, collaboration, and coordination is needed. Proper pricing for water services. In order to meet the demand for water and manage its sustainability, proper pricing of water should be done at each level, or the domestic use, agriculture use, or the industrial uses. High income household and large water dependent sector should pay more for the water. This would include the landed elite, the beverage industry, recreation outlet, and other large manufacturing and commercial outfits. There should be new technology and approaches for sustainable use of water and proper water management system. We know that there are social, economical, and administrative disputes on the transboundary or the proper delivery of water and water uses. So these all the issues and conflicts should be addressed at personal level, at social level, at economic level, and at all the level. There should be a proper balance between the traditional technology and the modern technology, so that each and everyone can use the water drop in a proper and conserved way. So all the issues should be delivered properly, and sustainable use of water is must. Thanks to all of you.